Today, we are going to be ranking the kits for every single HSR character from version 3.x. So this is covering everybody from the Hera all the way to the Dahlia. Pause real quick. I proceed to spend the next 4 minutes trying to explain what the hell I'm doing today, and it just sounds awful. I didn't get the point across. We're going to do a quick intro in post. Today, I am going to be ranking every 3.x character kit. I am going to be ranking these off of how strong the character is, how good or unique I think their kit is, and how well it scales into the future. And yes, that can include eidolons. I will say, this was a long stream, and as hard as I tried to commit to the rules that I have set in place now, I probably do fail once or twice, and I could try and revise it and do all that good stuff. I want to instead show you it how it was meant to be shown, and at the end, I will make any revisions that I think need to be made. With that in mind, I really hope that you guys enjoy. Let's get started. The first character we're going to talk about is the Hera. Now, I feel like I'm going to say this every single time. I like the Hera. I like how she's designed a lot, especially from a visual aspect. Her kit design is gorgeous. Everything about it looks amazing. The enhanced skill, the ultimate, even her basic attack, she just fucking swings like a pendulum in front of you. It's crazy. It all looks great. I always want to clarify that. I like a lot of the characters in this game. The problem with the Hera is, oh my god, they tried to make her an ideal support and they made one of the best hyper carry characters in the game. What are we doing here? Like, we tried to make a character to support this, and we ended up with this. Like, they messed up so badly. The Hera, her kit design, honestly, I think there is, like, still a fair bit of potential. Here's the first part about the Hera that I really enjoy, is her interpretation stacks. This is a really good way to design an AoE character so that they are not absolutely screwed the moment a bunch of enemies stop appearing. Honestly, they could have taken it further, but I get why they didn't. You have a max of 42 stacks, and on your primary target, you have 42 times 8. That is over 300%. Oh wait, no, because it doubles. Because if you have another Path of Erudition character. Nope, okay, so it's 600%. So you get basically 600% increased damage on your primary target. And that is comboed with the fact that she gets 80% attack boost, she gets a 50% ice damage dealt boost, and a 99% ultimate damage percent boost. That is really, really good. So realistically, her personal multipliers are not that bad. The problem is that it's hard to enhance her much more with just generalized buffs. So at that point, what you need to do is, we need to create a character that can generate so much more energy for her beyond what somebody like Argenti can do, beyond what Anexa can do, beyond what Mini Hera or Serval can do. You need somebody who can generate more energy for her at a rapid pace, similar to that of Triby. And making that is difficult. Making somebody who generates energy like Triby, you're basically asking somebody who just designed like the fastest race car in the world, I want you to double the horsepower of it. Overall, I still think her kit isn't bad. It's just the self buffs, the amount of them, super nice, doesn't exactly go well with the future of supports for her. And also, there probably isn't enough scaling to kind of help her against 3 target fights compared to like full AoE fights. So that's also a bit rough. I don't want to be too generous. Like I want to kind of put her in A, but I think realistically this is like a B. It's like a B design. Next up is my goat, Aglia. So Aglia she's like the first character to truly have speed as her main stat. You can get her as much attack as you want. You can get her a bunch of crit rate, crit damage. If you do not have at least like a fair amount of speed and then an action advancer to pair with her, you're not doing jack shit. It is actually that much of a difference. She was the first unit to really scale off that, and nowadays we have like Cyrene, not Casteris, Cipher, and Hiasin, who all have speed as part of their kits. My biggest problem with Aglia, as much as I love her, her fundamental kit without E1 is fucking horrible. Her E1 is so important for her, and there's gonna be some asshole in the comments who is like a min-max master and says, well, you can either get you can ignore the light cone and get E1, or if you just get the light cone, then you could build her in this way. First of all, for a normal person, the light cone is way more important in my opinion. If you are very skilled at this game, E1 is way more important in my opinion. E1 for Aglia feels so important, and not having it makes you feel like you're playing like a cripple, I'm gonna be honest. And as much as I love Aglia, and I think her kit is super unique, super fun, it's kind of what Firefly was supposed to be, I feel like. Firefly had a big emphasis on speed that really only came to be realized when Dahlia came out. The way it is right now, I really just cannot put Aglia that high, and it makes me so sad. Because I love her so much. And she's an amazing bulldozer character. Because of the amount of turns she can take, and she does very consistent damage, you can just force your way through things with, like, now, like, a Cyrene RMC Hiasin team. Overall, though, do I really want to put her in C? The thing is, though, is that I feel like with Cyrene, her E0 issues are solved immensely, which is a very, very big thing. It's just, she's not gonna scale into the future as well as anybody else. And that's where I'm kind of struggling. I'm gonna put her bottom of B for now. If this starts getting too filled up, she's gonna be the first person to drop down. Alright, next character on the list is RMC. I'm gonna be totally honest. To this day, this is still one of my favorite kit designs in the entire game. I love RMC and everything that they do. They are awesome. And this is a free character. This is a character you don't have to pull for. This is completely free. You get 10% crit rate, a crit damage share, access to the newest damage type available in the game, a 100% action advance, and if you pair them with Cyrene, you get you genuinely get a free sub DPS within your support. That is incredible. I love what RMC does, and they do it in a way that, it's funny, it's still unbelievably broken, but it's not broken in the same way as other action advancers. You're not action advancing every single turn. RMC can't really do that, because you need to accumulate 100 charge. Your ult gives you 40%, sometimes a little bit more than 40, but you cannot get that action advance like every single turn. There's so little to complain about with this character. They pair perfectly with so many characters in the game. They have a very, very unique design, being one of the first Remembrance characters. I don't know, am I glazing too hard, chat? Because I'm like, this has gotta be an S tier, right? Genuinely, what is there to complain about? No, not at all, you're not glazing. Glaze is deserved! Oh. Alright, next up on the list is Mighty. Okay, so I've not factored Eidolons too much into this conversation beyond Aglia. Mighty's Eidolons have genuinely scaled so miserably, it's insane. Also, there's another problem here. Mighty's best team now is going to have Ceridra and Cyrene in it. Double Godslayer be God, and let's remember here, you can technically do like a triple Godslayer be God, I'm pretty sure. So then, we come across the problem that everybody always likes to point out. Hiasin just doesn't work as well with Mighty as she does with the other HP scalers, because he's so goddamn suicidal, and the charge generated usually isn't as much, I believe, as compared to like Luocha. The main advantage is the fact that you're getting the additional charges for Cyrene so that she can activate her ult faster and all that. So that's a bit of an issue. Overall, in that team, Mighty actually does relatively decent damage. And it's interesting because Mighty went from like the autoplay demon that nobody liked into genuinely what I feel is one of the more complicated DPS in the game because of the way that you have to play around Ceridra, Cyrene, and Cyrene ult timings. Like, I genuinely think Mighty gained a much higher skill ceiling as a result of that, and that's awesome to see. The problem is that you can just, in a lot of cases, you just go on to Casteris, press E, and it's a much better result. Which, hey, that says a lot about Casteris, because Jesus Christ, that fucking character in her best team. But there's no content really suited for him. A lot of buffs don't do as much for him. His kit does not scale too well, and his kit is not portable at all. At this point, if you put Mighty without Ceridra and Cyrene, you lose so much value. It's just really, really unfortunate. Oh man. This makes me sad every single time. He deserves way better. He deserved so much better. Next up is Triby. I'm always so unsure about how I feel about Triby. Honestly, I'm gonna be so for real. Triby isn't as broken nowadays. Triby is always a hard character to talk about because she is very, very unique. She has res pen boost. She gives increased damage taken. It's like a 50% boost in total, or more than 50%. She does actual decent damage of her own volition, and she is the best user of Dance 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 in the entire game. Her Eidolons are a massive, massive benefit to any team that you will be running. E1, incredible. E2, combined with that E1, it is crack. She has great scalability, great portability, and she has a unique way to make use of her because you get the debuffs regardless, and if you don't care about her personal damage, you can just use her to spam DDD and get a lot of value out of that. Genuinely, Triby is a very, very versatile character. It felt like too much for so long. Being the best in slot for just about every good team for 7 straight updates, that's not good. Like, that is indicative of a severe problem in your character design. It should not be that broken. That's the best summary I've ever seen. It frustrates me that the best Nihility debuffer is a Harmony character. That's the best way to sum it up. Why are we double dipping into roles like this? Why are we double dipping into Harmony and Nihility with follow-up attacks all in one character? Like, that is way too much if we're being honest. I'm still kind of torn. I'm kind of torn on where I want to put her. Yeah, I think we'll put Triby in A. So, Casteris. Okay, so here's the thing, is that Casteris is like the most reliant character on her exact team in the entire goddamn game, I feel like. And it's really not close unless you're already an older character. Because, like, Break without Dahlia, fucking rough. Cassie without Hiasin, if, like, you're kind of running with, like, a corpse. Like, she took herself to the underworld at that point. That's how it feels. And for any character to be designed so reliantly on one specific character is always a bit rough. And at the same time, that's part of team building. I do think she has a lot of interesting aspects to her. The way you gain charge is super interesting because your teammates can just get their ass beat, and there you go, you get rewarded for it. She has ways to drain HP, and she gets rewarded for draining more HP, which, once again, very, very interesting. And the overall damage is solid. And again, it falls off a cliff if you really don't have, like, Hiasin and the other best teammates, but that's a lot of the characters at this point if you don't have the best in slot teammates. I'm saying all this because I did not have Hiasin for a while, and oh my god, it was torture. she just has a few interesting problems, and Cyrene gives her, it's definitely not the best buff. It's not the best buff. And it fixes her a lot, because Jesus Christ, the multiplier on that dragon is so fucking stupid. The way it scales is just... That dragon explosion really will not do as much as you think it will at normal charge levels. And the fact that you can overcap it now and it gets more powerful if you have like a single target enemy, the actual explosion, it gets so much stronger, which is super nice. I'm gonna be honest, like, as much as I enjoy Casteris, like, I have talked about this extensively. I love her animations. I love how she kind of feels. I don't think her playstyle is the most interesting. I think there are ways to kind of, like, spruce it up a little, but I don't think her playstyle is the most interesting. The way she scales so hard off of investment and struggles so much without it, it feels unlike anything else in this game. Also, kind of to do with the HP thing again, there's only so much you can do to increase HP of your teammates, dog. I think the potential future from here is also pretty grim because of that exact scenario. Like, Cyrene was the end-all be-all. You're not going to be able to top that in any way, shape, or form going forward. I think in terms of an overall kit, I'm going to put her in B. I like it. It's got some unique aspects. But man, the scaling on this is fucking horrendous. Oh my goodness. Next up on the list is Anexagoras. Remember, chat, do not call him Anexa. He will shoot you. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like we actually don't need to have a long conversation about this. I've talked about Anexa so goddamn much in my videos, and we talk about Anexa so much on stream. This is the same thing as RMC. There's more to complain about, if we're being honest, because without Ceridra nowadays, he's kind of chopped. But he is extremely versatile, being able to actually be used in all three endgame game modes, very rare. He has been able to use multiple supports over his lifespan. We've seen him with Ronmei, RMC, Tingyun, Ceridra. He has been able to use Cipher as well. Pela, Bronya. Bronya is actually still really good for him, surprisingly. His versatility, his overall strength for what he is incredible. He is able to be played as a sub DPS as well, even though, obviously, as a main DPS, he just holds more value. Overall, he has just an insane amount of value for people who are not able to pull often. If you ever need, like, just a low investment character, he fulfills that perfectly, with also some of the best scaling in the game if you just get Ceridra. I will say, if you want the best of the best team, Cyrene Ceridra is absolute demon time for him. He becomes so much better. The one place we can kind of fault him is, without those two characters nowadays, his performance goes down a lot. His Eidolons are not great, and you should always be investing in your supports if you really want to make your team overall better. But sometimes the DPS have nice Eidolons. Anexa's like E1 and E2 are okay, and then after that, you're really not finding much more value. Yeah, overall, he does have a few more issues, but it's pretty negligible when you really look at him compared to everybody else on the list. He wasn't even that broken. You had to work to get, like, really good clears with him, and he was just a character who could really take advantage of what he was given, because he is so unique. Yeah, he's going in S tier. I really like what Anexa brings to the table. Alright, Hiasin. I'm a fucking hater, chat. This is always such a hard conversation. It's not Hyacin's fault, but every single piece of content in this game was actually skewed towards Hiasin for so long. And even then, she's so good that she can just overwrite things that are meant to be bad for her. You know Sam, the guy who punishes you for healing? It doesn't matter. Hiasin just works through it. You know the E-Core Memo Sprite? The guy who literally can insta-kill you if you do not have a shield? Hiasin can play through it. That is, like, biblical levels of greed. That is not real. That should not be real. I hate it. Like, she has a cool design. Her actual healing numbers aren't even that incredible. It's the fact that she just gives you so much HP, and she's so good at constantly topping you off and preserving that HP. And with her light cone, like, giving speed so she can do multiple actions, and you can take away HP from your teammates, which for every other Remembrance character besides frickin' RMC and Aglia, because they hate me, is such a massive benefit. My biggest problem with Hiasin specifically is the fact that the character is one of the biggest examples of really not feeling complete in their best team without that goddamn light cone. Remembrance as a whole has this issue, and it pisses me off to high hell. Cyrene is like the first one where it doesn't feel that bad to not have the signature light cone. Casteris, basically no good options. Evernight, basically no good options. Hiasin in different teams, she could actually be fine. It would just be a bit of a loss overall. I feel like you're not getting the real value you want out of the character. In this Remembrance team, she is so much worse without her fucking light cone. It's not even close. That's also a great point. Why does she just have 100% crit rate baked into her kit? Why does Ceredra have it? And why doesn't Donhung PT have it? This is like the same problem I had with Triby, where it's too much all at once. And Triby had just a lot of good usability. Content literally felt so much more difficult without Hiasin, to the point that it genuinely just felt awful. It genuinely just felt awful. Also, her Eidolons are insanely broken. E1 is really only good for the Remembrance team, I'll say that. E2 is literally a 30% speed boost that requires her light cone to activate. Like, if you get hit, then yeah, there you go, you get the boost. It is literally designed to be procced by her light cone, and we all know that it is. This is genuinely just biblical levels of greed. Trying to keep consistency with these lists is hard, but this character is just too much wrapped up in all-in-one, and the game state was so closely tied to her to an uncomfortable level that it's just, you cannot let that slide at a certain point. I am going to put her here. There's somebody who like skipped to the end of the list real quick just to see what the total tier list looks like. They are really confused right now. They are genuinely so confused right now by what I just did. Let's move on to Cipher. This one makes me sad because why is Cipher not best in slot on any team? She's not good for any, like, okay, I need to always make sure I phrase this differently. She's really good almost everywhere. The problem is she's not best in slot anywhere. So she's not best for Mono Remembrance, she's not best for DOT, she's not best for Archer, she's not even best for like Fei Xiao. She's good for Acheron at least, but Acheron's also a dying fucking character, so that's a bit rough. Cipher offers a lot to your team. 40% vulnerability is not nothing. With her light cone, 24% defense shred with also a massive speed boost. Cipher has one of the strongest ults in the game because it is just based on the damage of your team. That shit is so fucking cool. Like, my god, I love it. And then she can be built to be super fast and make her a constant attacker, just constantly backflipping, hitting opponents. It's all really nice. And the other thing is, it isn't that broken. It is a good addition anywhere, and it's strong. It's just not the best. She has good future proofing too, since she can be very SP positive, and again, that amount of damage boost is always gonna be nice. Overall, everything that she offers is solid. I think one of my biggest complaints is the fact that if you want to get the full value out of her as a follow-up character, which is what I thought she was meant to be, you need to build her at 200 speed and kind of sacrifice her personal damage a little bit, which feels so counterintuitive. Like, that's just not as fun. You want her to be fast, obviously. Her multiplier stops scaling at, I believe, 170 speed to get her 50 crit rate. So now you have to get another 30 speed on top of that to get her to be the best version of herself in the teams that she is actually used for. And it sacrifices the other part of her kit, which is her damage dealing capability. How many other characters is that really the case when they are made in mind with supporting like a follow-up character? Moz doesn't have to really do that. Topaz isn't really doing that. Triby can do that, but Triby also doesn't have to do that. So that's already a bit rough, and it's a similar amount of damage amp, which is also interesting. You're also getting SP positivity out of Triby. It's a bit rough. And with the addition of Cyrene and RMC, this is a great point. True damage doesn't contribute to your total, and those are two of the best characters in the game right now for a lot of teams that Cipher might be running with. So that really is going to bring down a lot of her value. I think she's designed fairly well. It's just so many of the other characters in the game do not allow her to really make use of that kit, since if everybody's broken, nobody's broken, and Cipher just isn't broken enough. I think we're gonna put Cipher in B. This is gonna be a two-parter, I think. Because, like, I think we've been doing the list for at least 40 minutes, and we're not done yet. We're not even close to being done. Alright, so, obviously, the video isn't quite done. Part 2 will be coming out soon, but instead of waiting until the end of that to make some amendments, I decided to just slide it in at the end of this video. The main thing I want to talk about right now is, I might have been a little critical of Aglia. In hindsight, I think she has a very, very impressive kit design. Cyrene and RMC at E0 fix a lot of those issues, and then at a high Rydalon level, Robin, Triby, Sunday all work great for her. Admittedly, I really love Aglia. She is my second favorite character, and that also kind of means I am a bit more critical of her and her design and all that. I definitely took it a little too far, I think. So I'm not going to properly fix the tier list. Obviously, part 2 will still have her in B tier, but we're going to make this amendment now so all of you know. I think Aglia is raising up to A tier. Just wanted to get that out of the way. Part 2 will be coming out soon, so I hope you guys look forward to that. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!